Hello. And welcome. I'm Halcyon. This is a special edition Hug Nation on Election Day. And I wanted to just take a few moments to shake off the crazy, shake off the aggression, shake off the impasse that so much has kind of taken us to. I was reminded as I've been watching people's posts and people's quick tempers and people digging in and people name calling, that I was reminded of the 15 years ago when Hug Nation began. It happened in the wake of 9/11, when this narrative started to come through our media about us and them, and all about this, aggressive people out there, and all the fear of terrorism, all the fear of this other, and it kind of made a climate that made hate okay, that made divisiveness okay, that really set a landscape that allowed us to give up a bunch of freedom and allowed us to sacrifice a lot of liberty for the sake of this safety, and how there was this media narrative that manipulated us so much. And Hug Nation was like, wait a minute, how much of our experience of the world is in alignment with the story? How many people, as they've traveled the world, have had the experience of this hate, of this anger from foreign people? That's not been my experience. My experience has been one of being showered with love and showered with acceptance and an attempt to understand and listen and teach. And so if that's how the individuals in the world treat one another, why is it that we have this narrative that, the countries are so angry and hateful? And I feel like that same kind of overgeneralization and media manipulation has been happening to us now. And I find myself falling into it so quickly. And I see people that I love taking these stances and attacking in ways that make me struggle to continue feeling love for them, feeling, at least affection. Like I can love them in the way that I would love, a racist neighbor. Like, oh God, like I love them in a soul agape level, but I certainly do not like them. I don't like the way they're acting, and I'm having these feelings where I desire to defend, or I desire to argue or debate, and I'm like, whoa, how quickly I got pulled into that based on this divisiveness. And I feel like I'm someone who works pretty hard to stay in a state of unity and love, and if I'm falling into it so easily, how easy it is for everyone to slip into that. And over the last few weeks, and there's been times when I've spoken out politically and have been really kind of attacked. And maybe people don't feel like they're attacking. People feel like they're trying to convince me of their side. And that, someone just posted when I said I wanted to do this moment of unity, and I said the world would rather hug you than hurt you, and they wrote, well, some people would rather hug you. There's also tons of people out there who would like to hurt you. And I said, is that your experience? Have you had a lot of people in the last year that have tried to kill you in your personal experience? And they said, well, one person followed me on the bus, but all those people on the news, what about all that terrorism, all those people that want to kill us? Like, be a realist. And I was like, I'm not sure that we can, I'm not sure if that's a really healthy attitude of trusting this narrative that's given to us. There's narratives that can tell us anything we want. And if my personal experience is to guide how I experience the world, there's also been floods and tsunamis and earthquakes and suffering and all sorts of horrible things that have happened in the world. But I don't live in terror of those things. I'm not going to live in terror of anything at the expense of feeling love for my fellow human being. So that was the kind of impetus for this, and reminding myself of what would my grandpa be saying in this moment. He would be feeling like, gosh, yes, we should all vote, but we should also respect each other's decisions. And that's what I'm trying to kind of like sink back into, and trying to remind each other, look, we all made the best decisions we can. We all attached ourselves to some story, some narrative. We all want what's best for our families, for our loved ones. We all want justice. We all want what's right and fair. We all want what we feel to be what's best. And if we can let go of the specifics of the decisions that each other have made and respect that whatever experiences that we have had have led us to make the best decisions we can, then let's love each other and respect each other from that place. In the same way that I can see someone raised in the South and go, wow, their experiences have led them to a racist understanding of the world. Now, I can disagree with the choices and actions they make, and I can try to love them for who they are underneath those labels and decisions and stories. In Hug Nation every week, we try to recognize our physical self, recognize that beneath that is our personality self, all the labels and all the identities and the roles that we play in the world. And also recognize that that level is also just a shell. Your strong political beliefs is just a jersey that you put on, shaped by the stories that you've been told, shaped by the experiences you've had, shaped by the opinions that you've been given. I mean, if you have experience with your life being terrorized by another human being or a group, then, I respect your fear that you experience through that. But most of us are basing all of our decisions, all of our understandings, all of our anger and hatred towards this group or this person or this corrupt politician or this sexist or this misogynist or this thief. All of those opinions and ideas are based on stories and information and narratives that have been given to us, nothing that we've experienced personally. I'm not saying that they're right or wrong. I'm just saying that we need to have a level of detachment from those narratives and not let those narratives turn us against one another, against our fellow human beings, against our fellow Americans. Allow those narratives to steer you in a path that helps you to make the best decision you can. And then respect that everyone's path and information and narratives and stories and experiences led them to where they need to go. And know that you are probably being misled. Even the very perceptions of your senses and the way that your brain puts things together. We have cognitive bias in so many ways. We cannot trust our absolutes. So forgive ourselves for being manipulated and forgive other people for being manipulated. And try to see through the jerseys that everyone's wearing, trying to see through these stances that everyone's taking, trying to see through the opposing viewpoints, the opposing jersey colors, skin colors, labels, and try to see through the physical self, the personality self, and see through to the true self. That deep down beneath our stories, beneath all of our insecurities and our fears and our opinions, deep beneath all of that is this beautiful, pure, loving light that is trying to shine through us. And if we can get out of the way, we can be love. And if we can see that shining through everyone, we can see and be and connect with that love. Even if they are so caught up in their stories that you can't really sense any of that love shining through them, know that it's there. And they're caught up in some stuff. Just like at times in your life, I'm sure you've been caught up in your stuff too. Maybe you are right now and you're not aware of it. Maybe 10 years you'll look back and go, whoa, I can't believe I was so dug into that perspective. In the same way that 10 years ago I was so dug into another perspective. And maybe you can forgive that person next to you that is dug into a perspective that you don't agree in. Because at the core of it all, we have the potential to just be a human family. And if we can let go of the stories that we're intentionally being fed to strategically manipulate us, we can surrender into our true divine nature. We can forgive ourselves. We can forgive the other. We can do the best we can and know that everyone else is doing the best we can. I encourage everyone to vote. I certainly have my opinions of the way I think I would like this election to go. But more than anything, I would love for there to be love. I would love for us to try to work together and recognize that we have differences, we have different opinions, we have different experiences, and if we can listen and not defend all the time, not attack, but try to find harmony, whatever path we find through harmony, I will bow to that. I would much rather have a harmony path than fight in anger for what I, in an ego sense, think is right. I surrender to love, and I encourage everyone to let go of their absolutes. Yes, act from the place that you feel to be right, and then surrender to love. So, as Grandpa would, I'm sure, tell us right now, love is what holds the world together. So I'd love for us to just take a few breaths together and have a Hug Nation hug in the spirit of Hug Nation, as it has been happening for 15 years every week. A reminder that the world would rather hug you than hurt you, no matter what you hear in the news. So grab yourselves by the shoulders, recognizing that this physical shell you're in is this amazing vehicle that allows you to experience the world. It gives you a separation from the one. It allows you the duality so that you can experience the universe through this single point, this single perspective. But that's just a perspective. You are part of that one. You are that one. But this physical body gives you the gift of experiencing all of it. And beneath that physical shell is the personalities, the identities, the labels. And just like that separation, it allows you the separation so that you have a dramatic, adventurous human experience in the world, giving you drama and adventure and love and triumph. But that is just an illusion to give you the experience, the human experience, because beneath that is who you truly are, free from the stories, free from your narrative, free from these mental constructs of how you're different from everyone else, is your true self, the loving light shining through you that is the same that shines through all of us. And we can get out of the way. We can let our insecurities and fears and hang-ups fade away, then that light shines through us. And if we can see that light in other people, even when it's impeded by their stuff, we can recognize that we're from the same source, doing the best we can. So let's take 3 breaths together, letting that light shine through us, being a part of that one, individual cells in this cosmic being. Inhaling through the nose and then out through the mouth. Ready? Inhale. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the love warriors and all the beings on this planet, Happy Hug Nation, I love you. So, thanks for tuning in, all of you people live in the chat room. And if you're joining on the archive, thank you for tuning in whenever you are seeing this. Hopefully you are able to experience some degree of connection and love on this day that is so filled with divisiveness. Remembering that we have a choice of how we experience the world. We have a choice of how we see our fellow human. Thank you, Mario, sorry. Thank you, Robin. Love you too. Hello, Joyous. And Blue Ginzes, Emmanuel. Not sure how to pronounce your name, but I'm impressed that you got it through the Facebook filters. Thank you, Vesper, and Allison, and Tiffany. I love you, Matt. Love you, Jessica. It's amazing how intoxicating and how tempting it is to try to get caught up in debates and argument. Whew. I actually posted something last night and then took it down. Grandpa was a pastor, Mario. He was a Baptist minister, but by the end of his life, he called himself a Baptist Buddhist and was just very absorbed in anything relating to love and peace and Zen. Thank you, Rachel. Hello, Christos. And Emma. We will get through this. Yes, Vesper, we will. And I have faith. But I think it's something that will take practice, just like anything, that if we are not aware of the temptation to fall into conflict and how easy and kind of seductive it can be to have righteous indignation, that we're not conscious of that, then it's easy to fall into it. Like, I'm now practiced at being aware of when I get frustrated in traffic. But for a long time, it still is seductive to when someone, cuts me off, or, when people aren't zippering, when we're merging. I so quickly want to, be angry at the other person and be like, it is now a practice to become aware that that is not a worthwhile use of energy. That is not a productive expression of anger and frustration. And I think it requires that introspection and inquiry in those situations that are so tempting, so inciting of our righteousness. And I think that this election has been one that is like crack cocaine in terms of its the addictive draw, the seduction of, of debate. Hello, Dawn. Good to see you. Well, I just want to say once again that I appreciate everyone's efforts to stay grounded in love, even if that means acting um, towards change. In fact, I think that is the real challenge: is how can you act in towards a future and decisions and change that you believe in, while not succumbing to anger and frustration and judgment. Thank you, Sarah and Claire. Ah, hello, Zarina. Well, I hope everybody votes. I hope everybody blesses everyone they see today on the roads and in the polling place and in their office, and tries not to visualize separation between us, but tries to see everyone in your sphere as beautiful, loving, struggling human beings doing the best they can, and shower them with love, no matter what their political position is, no matter what their demeanor is, no matter what their actions are. The more out of alignment you think they are, the more they need your love. So, thank you for being a love warrior. I love you. Have a beautiful day.